Well, hello there, friends, and welcome to the Monday Show 49. I'm your host, Wes. With me, as always, my good friend Roots. Roots, we got another banger lined up today. Are you ready?
Yeah, Monday, dude. Monday, and I'll tell you what, man. The games that we're going to talk about, I was only able to play one, obviously, because the other's PSVR. Um, crazy. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, well, it's an interesting couple of games because, I've been playing Dreams now for, I don't know, a few days, and, a lot of variety in Dreams as far as the different types of games that you can play in there, but they all kind of have this look to them that you could kind of tell by looking at them that they were made in Dreams. But then when you get in Paper Beast and you start to look at all this beautiful scenery that's around everywhere, that kind of looks like it's made in Dreams too. As beautiful as it is, they share a similar aesthetic, so it's kind of funny that we're talking about them both in the same show.
I know, and a lot of people would say it's conspiracy that we plan it, but a lot of times, or most times, we don't. It just things line up perfect, and we play it or do it way we do it a certain way, and it's perfect.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, it is what it is, man. The Monday show is all about what we've been playing. We don't play things for the Monday show. We talk about the stuff on the Monday show that we want to play, right?
right, absolutely, especially
And
this
what
week.
a show! What a show we have this week. We've got Dreams and Paper Beast first impressions. Like we stated, we've got a giveaway to do, man. We've got two keys to Into the Radius to give away. We're going to do that shortly, and then after all of that, as if that wasn't show enough, we've got Game of the Month, and a vastly different month in July than we had in June.
Yeah, I was looking at that list, and every single one of them, I was like, "Wow, it's good," except for one, and I won't say which one. I was like, "What is this game? I never even heard of this." Apparently, it went under my radar and looked a little intriguing. So we'll talk about that when we get to that point, I guess.
Yeah, we will cross that bridge when we get to it. But first, I'd like to say hello to everyone in chat. Looks like Mark Mepper is in the house. What's up, buddy? Rendered Reality up past their bedtime. You know what, Roots? When we start talking about getting them out of contractors and getting them into something that we play like Grip, I gotta imagine it's pretty hard to sleep, right?
Yeah, especially. He said Tyler's not that good at the racing at all, so it'll be interesting because I don't think they've really raced very much, and they should be worried. We got Spry Guy and Cyion, and oh my God, they are good. So
Aren't they though? I mean, just better than me. We'll say that. Those guys are well practiced. Jim Hall in the chat. Roy Schwartz, what's up, buddy? Slay Blaze, Hussein X, Alex VR. Pretty good crew turning up for the Monday show. 49 Roots.
yeah, dude, these are all the hardcores, and the people that want the keys. So
Ah,
the
there you
smart
go.
ones.
People excited to get in on some of that into the radius action. But first, let's talk about a game. Let's talk a little bit about Dreams Roots. You know, what first of all, before we even get into that, uh, PSVR news dropped today. Did you catch any of that?
A little bit in the Discord. Something I see. I think I what I caught was before the news dropped, and then I was working and I did not see what the actual news is. Plus, who am I kidding? I get my news from Wes. So give me the news, Wes.
Well, I mean, the news is that there's news coming. First of all, that's the
Oh,
big
okay.
news. But we did get a little bit of information. We learned that all of the peripherals from existing PSVR will work on PS5. So that means your move controllers, your aim controller, importantly, even your camera will work with PlayStation 5. Although they did say that you will need an adapter,
Hmm.
but they're going to provide us with those adapters free of charge.
Oh, wow.
So you get to bring it all with you, and that must have been a tough decision for them. I mean, when you think about 5 million plus PSVR headsets out there, and hypothetically having to make a piece of hardware, even the tiny most minuscule piece. I mean, that's got to be expensive, right?
Yeah, but you got all those people that now are going to be ready to go right into VR. And because worse than the worst thing they could do is make it to where you have to buy something extra, and then maybe you lose half your people. People are lazy. For whatever reason, they just don't get it. But if you already have it, you're going to get right in, and I think they're going to be blown away. So
It's funny that they're going. I expected that I might have to even buy that new camera, to just to be able to play my PSVR on PS5, and I was ready to drop the money for that. I wasn't upset about it or anything, but it's like Sony doesn't know that the VR audience, we're going to be first in line to drop, and pay whatever. VR enthusiasts have shown that we're willing to put the money down when it comes to gaming. So it seems like Sony would know this and know that they don't have to bend over backwards to bring us along.
yeah, well, not only that, but man, we want a new camera, dude. We wanted a new camera for years. I don't think anybody's. I mean, I guess you being you're gonna have to make sure the specs are exactly what you're expecting, right, or worth the upgrade. But I think it's gonna be a no-brainer. Like whatever it does, it's gonna make the PlayStation VR tracking better, I think. And why would you want to slum it with your old camera? I mean, unless you're strapped. But I mean, you just dropped $500 on a new PlayStation 5, so spend the extra $50, in my opinion, or whatever it is.
Yeah, I
So
was planning on getting it. I'm expecting there to be some kind of advantage to it. I'm not just in the practice of spending money to spend money, but it's a higher definition camera. I got to imagine that it works better, right?
yeah, I can't imagine them just putting the same stuff out. And I just can't imagine anybody staying with the Move controllers if they have another option. And who knows? It's good that they're doing this because that means it really means that they could actually put out a new headset a little bit easier this way because you don't have to get it. A lot of people say, "Oh man, you can't put out two products. That's too much money for everybody." Well, if you don't make it to where they have to, if everybody can easily use their old stuff, but you can upgrade if you want, then why not put out another headset? Now, of course, that's who knows how long or further down the road, but I would definitely be in line to buy one of those as well. So,
Well, it's interesting that you say that, because we did get some other news. We learned that the rumored next State of Play event is coming on the date that the rumors said. It's coming on August 6th, but there's a caveat, Roots. This State of Play is not revolving around PlayStation 5. There's not going to be any price or pre order information, no new looks at the hardware, no new PS5 games, or at least first party games revealed. What this State of Play is going to revolve around is uh, third party titles and independent titles for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation VR. So we're getting that PlayStation VR event that we've speculated might be coming. We knew that we've known that they were holding off on making any kind of PSVR announcements for a later event. Well, this is that event. But interestingly, uh, no first party titles are going to be talked about. And what that eliminates any possibility of your Astrobot 2, of your Farpoint 2, of any of the big sequels that we're looking forward to on PSVR on PS5. So it's interesting. What that says, it says that they're waiting, right? They're waiting to announce those titles. Now, are they waiting to release those titles until they have a new headset? Maybe that's what we're looking at here. And I think that the fact that they're not speaking about first party titles when it comes to PSVR, I think that what that says is just that, is that we're going to have to wait a little bit longer to get those titles because they're most likely in development for new hardware.
nice. Well, I want a new headset and lines up with what I want, so that's good. And Farpoint 2, bro. Can you imagine a Farpoint 2 bundle with a new headset? I'd be all over it.
I have imagined that, Roots. I've imagined it many times. Interestingly, though, one of the things that they did say, pretty much the only thing that's going to be mentioned PS5 related is that they have promised a few updates on PS5 games that were revealed in the first event. So things that we saw in June, a couple of those games are going to be getting updates. And the fact that this is a PSVR centric state of play and that we're going to be getting updates on a few of those PS5 games, just, 2 plus 2 equals 4 to me, that says that we're going to get some confirmation of PSVR support for some of those games.
That's not common core. I thought 2 plus 4 equals, or 2 plus 2 equals whatever it is.
Right.
It's that
But,
kind of weird.
to translate for everyone, I think we're about to get our confirmation of Resident Evil 8 VR, is what I think.
I think so too, and that's gonna be exciting as well.
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff. We pretty much know what to expect. The question is there going to be, are there going to be any surprises? Right. We know we're going to get Resident Evil 8 confirmed, most likely, maybe even Gran Turismo 7, which I don't know because that kind of is a Sony title. Um, we can expect Vader Immortal, a date for Vader Immortal. If not, just it dropping simultaneously. We could have Vader Immortal this Thursday. Minecraft. We know Minecraft PSVR is coming, even though we haven't had any confirmation of it. I got to imagine that if it's coming, they're going to tell us on Thursday. Now the question is, outside of those big announcements, what do they have up their sleeve? Are there any big surprises for us? I don't know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I think there will be. I just have this feeling something's coming, but we'll find out Thursday, right?
Yeah, yeah. I would think that they would have more surprises, but Minecraft's going to be a big one. Uh, we only know that Minecraft for PSVR is a thing because of some peripheral information. So that's obviously going to be the big bombshell of the show. And when you think about that, coupled with Resident Evil 8, and the fact that, again, no certain Sony first party stuff going to be talked about. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to have anything else, but I mean, even if it's just the stuff that I've mentioned here, it should be an exciting event.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just the fact that they're having a VR centric show is huge. Because usually they try to stay away from that, right? And I know this is different because of everything. But I just think it's for them to have a specific show for it. That shows me that they've got stuff to talk about. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And they haven't.
it's good. It's time that they throw us a bone. It's hard not to get nervous when you see Sony like so blatantly ignoring anything PSVR and not saying anything about it. It seems like the dam is finally starting to break down a little bit, and the fact that they're talking to us again uh, makes us feel. The fact that he's talking to me again, Roots, makes me feel like there's a future for our relationship.
Yeah, you got a good future, and I think I'm going to join in that. We can do a threesome. That sounds weird.
Uh, yeah, yeah,
You
that's a
know
little
you
weird,
know who else
especially
is into threesomes?
My mom!
in your dreams, Roots.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of dreams, uh, so yeah, I've been checking out dreams for a few days, right? I didn't jump in on day one like everyone else did because not only are we kind of waiting for the creators to give us content, but even like the existing content in dreams, in order to consume that in VR, the creator has to enable it. You can hypothetically look at all of it, but only with permission from the creator.
Hmm.
So I didn't jump in on day one. I've waited a few days to let the pool of information, the pool of games, to fill up, and it's coming along quite nicely.
Oh, cool. So they have, so you can't, I mean, they kind of made it sound like you could play anything in VR, but I guess so the creator has to deem it as VR. Is that what you're saying? Or am I
That's
missing?
right.
Oh, okay.
Now they don't have to do anything else. They just have to put a little check in a box, and then all of a sudden, their creation's a VR creation.
Oh, right there. Hide VR only content. Oh, I guess that's a kind of just on how you search. So did you go into only VR stuff or did you go into some flat stuff as well?
Well, I enabled it so that anything that I can see in VR popped up on my thing. So I didn't
Oh.
just limit it to stuff that was made for VR, but all of it. Now, obviously, I'm not going to go and flat game in dreams. I've had the thing for months and months now and haven't done that once. I'm not going to do it now. But anything that I can consume in my headset, uh, I put it up into my search query.
Okay, so you have actually. So is there a lot of stuff? I would imagine by now, after what is it, a week or two, is there quite a bit of things out?
Yeah, there actually was a lot, and enough to that literally you could just spend hours, days even in this thing, and just keep going and messing around. You know, Roots, it's an interesting thing because when we heard about dreams, we had this kind of idea what it might be, and we had this this vision of dreams that what I hoped it would be, and then I had these other fears for dreams, what I was hoping that maybe it might not be, or hoping that it wouldn't be. And oddly enough, kind of both is true, but the bad, not so bad as I thought it was going to be.
So what was the bad that you thought it was going to be that I guess is only as partially as bad?
Well, here's the thing, man. Let's talk about Gen 1 VR games, right? What was the biggest criticism about Gen 1 VR games? The one thing everybody said, we have too much of this.
Well, shit, there's all sorts of stuff. I guess so.
Short tech demos,
Yeah.
Roots. I was afraid that Dreams would amount to little more than a collection of short tech demos, which is the one thing that everyone says we have too much of already. We don't need more short tech demos in VR. And honestly, Roots, I mean, that's pretty much what we've got here. We've got a bunch of very short tech demos. Now, the good thing about it is that that's not such a bad thing. It wasn't quite the jank fest that I thought it was going to be because the Dreams um, engine is such a quality engine that you get this underlying level of quality in all of it. Even
Hmm.
like the most basic things in Dreams are well done because Dreams itself is so well done.
Well, think about it this way though, with the tech demos, Wes. We got the tech demos because we have PC. PlayStation's kind of been free of most of it. Not that there isn't some, but they don't have near as much of the. I mean, just all sorts of shit that you could play. All those tech demos that PC went through. So PlayStation's kind of getting the same thing, but on a better level. And once they get the PlayStation 5, I can't think that there'll be any jank at all. If there's not jank, very much jank now, shit, dude. Once the next PlayStation comes out, it's going to be really smooth, right?
Yeah, well that's the thing here. That's when this is really going to shine. And the timing is just perfect, right? They put in VR support midsummer, a few months away from PS5 launching, and they have the creators get on it. We have this library of content that's growing literally daily, and then when PS5 launches in November, that's when this thing is really going to become must have. Because let me tell you, Roots, every time that I've been in dreams, literally every time that I've been in dreams, I don't want to stop playing it. And I'm talking about experiences, most of which are 10, 20 minutes long, 30 minutes tops. But there's so much of it, and it's all, uh, so good, for lack of a better term, that I don't realize how much time I'm spending in there
Hmm.
playing this stuff. And I just keep going and going. The first time I was in there nearly 5 hours, Roots.
Wow, that's a long time, dude, for you especially. Um,
Yeah.
that's crazy, dude. Well, I mean, and it kind of makes sense, really. We're all kind of conditioned for more short term, like things happening quick, right? Like short attention span. So I would imagine small little games could actually really hold our attention more as we're going from one to the next than one long one that eventually we kind of get distracted or just want to get out. So,
Well, it's funny because, a lot of the things that we say we don't have enough of in dreams, things like platformers, for example. A lot of that stuff that we don't have enough of in VR is like what the majority of Dreams actually is, right? So like I mean, there's just tons of different little platformers and little games like that in there that have interesting. Each of them have their own little interesting mechanics. It isn't really a cookie cutter thing like a Mario Maker is kind of a cookie cutter thing where you make one or a million different versions of the same thing. Dreams really is a smorgasbord, and even something as simple as a platformer. All the different platformers I've played have had their own little hooks, their own game mechanics that are very creative, and it's all really just so well done. So you get addicted to this stuff, right? And you'll play a level. Some of them have two levels, some of them have three, and then 30 minutes later you're done and you're on to the next one. And and you start the cycle all over again. And before you know it, 1 hour's gone, 2 hours gone, 3 hours is gone, and there's still just this infinite sea of little, short tech demos for you to mess around in.
Wow. Well, that sounds crazy. And when are we gonna see the next Half-Life Alex or Half-Life game in there, do you think? Someone's gonna make something like that, right? Or like a recreation?
Yeah, there's all kinds of recreations in there already. I got to imagine that these things are going to, grow like trees. You're going to start with a seed and you're going to get a sapling. And then, over time, they're just going to continue to grow and grow and grow into full fledged games. There's a couple on there already. I haven't really tried any of the longer ones. I know I noticed somebody made a Silent Hill game on there that looks epic length. I mean, the thing had like 20 or 30 different, scenes in it, all strung together and branching out. So I got to imagine that that might be pretty good. But I don't know. I mean, even like the shorter stuff though, you could see this stuff becoming a larger game. I played a racing game today called Tectonic that was really cool. It was a really cool concept because it's a standard racing game. You only got one car, but it's really customizable, the car that you get. And there's only one track, but there's three different levels, or sorry, three different game modes. So you actually race differently in each one. And it's interesting, Roots, because uh, the races are normally 2 laps, and there's a mode called action mode, which I couldn't figure out what the hook of action mode was going to be. It just seemed like a normal time trial. But as soon as you start the second lap, an earthquake happens,
Oh,
and all of a sudden the track changes, and because buildings are collapsing and the ground's overturning. It was a really cool and unique take on a racing game, and I had a lot of fun with it.
wow. It does sound pretty unique and cool. It makes me feel like we've been dropping the ball and maybe we need to finally get into to some source 2 stuff as well, cuz like listening to you talk about this, it makes me want to go see what people have been doing on PC. Sure, there's all sorts of cool things people have made, right? I mean, obviously with the Half-Life Alex mod or whatever, but just in general, I think that there's probably some pretty cool stuff out there.
Yeah, I got to imagine that that while the variety might not be quite as big as it is in Dreams, as far as the different kind of stuff you can play, the quality level is probably even a little bit better, knowing the PC modding community and all the stuff that they're capable of. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. That's something that we should probably take a look at in the very short term future.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I played a bunch of different stuff, man. I played a bunch of like I said, platformers. I played one. I'm trying to recall what the name of it was, and for the life of me, I can't remember it. But it was an interesting concept because there wasn't. It was a platformer, but there was no like dedicated jump button. But the way that you got around on the different platforms is you're this robot. Everything's made out of metal, and it uses magnetism. And you know how the same polarity on magnets will repel instead of attract. So that's what you do. You have the tracks and platforms have like these red pieces and blue pieces, and each of those correspond to the positive and negative pole of a magnet. So if you need to jump, you just maneuver yourself onto one of those pieces, say
Mhm.
the red one, and then you press the button to put out that same red charge, and it repels you out of it. And you can jump far doing that too. So it's kind of interesting because you can't jump at all, but they've kind of made the platforms like a puzzle, so that as you get over this one, you press this button to jump. But as you get over that one, you can press that button to jump. And again, the quality level, especially when it comes to like resolution and 3D depth, is everything that you would expect out of a Sony exclusive VR game. Really high quality level, even if the concepts are a little simple and the games are a little bit short.
Wow. Well, and we're not even talking about the elephant in the room as far as what, all these little games are great for average people to do, but how cool is this for developers to use? I'm sure a good developer could probably develop a really good game in this engine, right?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They're already in there, Roots. Like most of the really, really good ones I played, uh, I mean, it's just like a demo that you would find on Steam. You boot it up. They have their little logo page that comes up with all kinds of cool lighting and sound effects, and you can see their company name right there, just like you would any other game. And then you get into it. So it very much is its own game engine, like Unreal or anything else.
That's awesome. That's good for the developers, and that's good for us. So,
Yeah, it's a way for people who didn't go to school for this to get into making games. And you don't have to necessarily go to college. I mean, we talk about Vertigo Remastered the other day, and that Zach Brown, the guy that made that, he didn't go to school for it, but his dad works at Valve. He learned how to do it. This makes it so that we can have a lot more Zach Browns out there, right? Because not only do they have these easy to use tools for anyone to use, but there's all sorts of different tutorials, from the very basic level up to the advanced level that teach you how you can make games. And it's not just games, Roots. I mean, there's music that people make in this thing. There's musical experiences.
mm,
A lot of the best experiences I've had in it have been walking simulators that are just scenic. So you know how we like going into, say, like the museum of other realities, because they have these scenes that you can get in, things that people drew in quill, and you can actually get into them on the ground level and explore them. Well, imagine that, but imagine this person has made a whole level for you to walk through, and with custom music and beautiful artwork everywhere. There's a lot of that kind of thing in there too.
nice. It's a good place for artists to showcase their stuff. So that's cool.
Yeah, prospective game developers, prospective artists, animators, musicians. Uh, Dreams is a viable tool set for all of those people.
You know what's crazy about dreams is, I mean, this is literally the craziest thing to me. 6 months ago, or it's been 6 months maybe, before we really knew what exactly was happening, there was a lot of doubt in both of our minds of what the hell was coming. Like, are they promising too much? Are they gonna fulfill? Now we were hopeful, and we leaned more towards the positive, but you really didn't know because it was in development for so long. But now we can see what that time took and just how good it is. And makes me jealous, makes me wish I had a PlayStation VR. Actually, I could go knock down my roommate's door and take my old one back that I sold him. That's probably not a good idea. But I do. I want to check out Dreams now. So
Yeah, man, it's pretty cool. Again, it's a great way to kill time. I could literally play it all day long, but there's just so much stuff in there. But you mentioned what our expectations were for it, right? And I really didn't expect much on PS4 because I know, how taxing it is on that old console to do anything in VR. For them to be able to do this, it really is some magic. It goes to show that this thing was literally a decade in development, Dreams. So you can see uh, that it's now starting to pay off, right? They're doing things in Dreams that you really wouldn't think that they should be able to do. But with that said, our expectation was that it would blossom on PS5. But really, if anything, if we got anything on PS4, it would be that single player campaign, right? I forget what it's called.
Have you played it?
That well, that was the thing that it was the only thing that we thought would work in VR from Dreams on PS4. It literally, in reality, it literally is the only thing in Dreams that doesn't have VR
That's
support.
funny.
That they didn't put that in VR. Everything else in the game can be or is VR.
That's crazy. Yeah, I think Ray Delatorre is right. Small indie companies are shaking in their boots right now from this. Or they could use it and make a game. I don't know.
That's the thing, man. Any one of those indie companies can. I mean, it's not like they even need a dev kit. They could just go pick up a used PS4. Literally, they could go buy a used PS4, drop 25 or $30. I think it's on sale for right now, and they've got a whole game creation suite right in front of them. No PC needed, nothing else. All you need is your PlayStation and a copy of the software. It really is amazing.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if I'm gonna, because when I've gotten to VR, I love these experiences, and I've been looking for one that I can't find any along this line. But like, I'd love to go check out Solomon's Temple or Noah's Ark or anything biblical, but it ain't out there, bro. Like, but maybe somebody will create it in this Dreams thing. So somebody needs to
Yeah, I
do
get
that
what
for
you're.
Roots.
I get what you're saying. Like the Holy Land, that thing we tried to
Yeah,
buy for it.
that was like that's the first type of thing, and it's like I would just like and it doesn't have to be strictly Christianity. I'd like to go back and check out a lot of historical sites and different things. And there's just not that much out there right now, and they could recreate just about anything. Everybody's always thinking sci-fi. I want to see history, So
Absolutely. And on a side note here, the Holy Land, that absolutely awesome experience that allows you to tour Jerusalem from the perspective of all three of the major religions that are there. Um, it's been on Viveport Infinity for a while. It released on Steam today, so you can actually buy it on Steam now for $20.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. What's funny is I just deleted it off of my Vive port today because I went to play the next game, and I had all these games that I was like, man, I already did this, and I freed up like 80 gigs or something because that was a big thing between that and a couple other games. It was big, but yeah, it was really cool. Definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, it was highly detailed. Like they did all this photogrammetry, right? All this 3D video, but then they overlaid like a layer of digital on top of it. So it literally, even though it was an experience, it kind of plays like a game too at the same time.
Did you play this llama platformer?
I saw it. I did not check this one out yet though, but believe me, I'm going to get in there. I found this one interesting because that llama looks like the sacred llama from Adventure Time.
Yeah, it does actually. It just looked weird. What have your kids done? Like, have they done much?
No, they've watched me play a lot.
Okay.
But my daughter keeps telling me she's going to get in here and create something. And she keeps coming and telling me every day, today I'm going to do Dreams, Dad. I'm going to learn how to make a game. And she always gets sidetracked. And then she comes back the next day, says it again. So she's going to get in here. I'm sure the boys will too. They actually came and told me a couple of days ago that they tried to play it, but I hadn't installed the VR update yet on it. So it's ready for them now. They just haven't got in there and tried it yet.
You need to force the issue, Wes. Next time, just at the end of the day, just ask your daughter, well, where's that creation? And then the next day, she's like, I'm not letting Dad down. I'm making something this time.
Or she, I don't even have to do that at all. Like literally, it's like the first thing she says to me every day is like, I think I'm going to get in Dreams today, Dad, and make something.
Yeah, that's the best age for kids, man.
Well, she's the artist of the group. Of my three children, that my daughter is the talented artist. She has God-given ability when it comes to art. She's way better at like drawing and painting and stuff than I am, and than I ever was. So I'm interested to see what she's able to do with it.
Nice, me too. Tell her that the whole all the audience is going to play her game when she makes it.
Right. Well, I'll certainly share it with you guys when the day comes.
Yeah. Cool.
But anyway, Dreams, 2 thumbs up for me. It's everything that we had hoped it was, and everything that I had hoped that it wouldn't be. But turns out that's not such a bad thing after all, because the quality level. You forget, Roots, how good a Sony exclusive title can be in terms of polish. Uh, I mean, it's amazing to me how crisp and clear these uh, worlds can be, and the 3D depth of it all, never seems to amaze me. So just endless hours of fun to be had here. Nothing, really deep that you can sink your teeth into. No one thing anyway, but rather a collection of literally hundreds of other smaller, shorter things. And it's cool, Roots. It's like we've always said it. The good thing about VR is even if the game isn't all that great, at least you got to go somewhere, right? You went to another world, another place. Well, this is a whole other parallel universe of places to visit, and it's every bit worth the $40, retail price that they asked for it.
Yeah, especially spent 5 hours into it and you just barely played a little bit and time went flying by. Imagine what you'll be saying
Yeah.
in a month or two, right?
I didn't play Paper Beast as much as I would have liked to. The reason why was because I just couldn't drag my ass out of Dreams. I kept playing it, and all right, just one more. I just want to check one more out. Oh, that was awesome, dude. We'll look at this one over here. I want to check it out too. Um, I mean, there's other stuff I could tell you about, and I could literally spend this whole episode talking about the dreams that I experienced. I did PT Roots.
Oh, wow.
PT.
Yeah.
And we did PTVR on PC. They have it in Dreams as well.
How was it? Good?
Well, let me tell you, Roots. You could make it to the end of it.
Oh, well, I guess, I'll tell you what, that is that's, I kind of like to finish stuff, especially when it's supposed to be showcased. So,
Right. When you're talking about a 15 to 20-minute demo, you should be able to make it to the end, right?
yeah, absolutely. Was it Maddie Matt said you guys should make a game together, you and your daughter? Like you could you could give her the concept or like the mechanics, and then she could do the art.
I think that's a possibility one day. If she becomes prolific at making games, I certainly could do that. As far as myself getting hands-on with this stuff, I just don't have the time for that, dude. Between work and the channel and finding time to play VR games, I don't have time to make anything.
Yeah, I'm the same way with between work and the show and Sea of Thieves. I'm having a hard time spending much time doing other stuff as well.
Ray Delator says he wants to see a Three Stooges game. They could do that like
what
on Quest with the hand tracking. So like it's kind of like rock paper scissors, but you're like smacking people and poking them in the eye, and then you have to block.
Yeah, when are we gonna get our Rift S hand tracking? Remember when that people used to think that was going to be a thing?
Yeah, when it's a cold day in hell, Roots, that's when.
Oh, if it works, if it's successful, it seems like it's working. But you know what else is working or successful, or actually neither? We got a game to give away. We got people. We had 25. Now the odds just shot up. We're down to 23 people in the chat.
Right. Well, let's do it then, Roots. I've already, for those of you who are watching and have entered the contest, you may have noticed that I replied to your original comment on last week's Monday show with a number. Now, I don't remember whose number I gave to what. I think Onakazi might have been number 1, but besides that, I can't remember anyone else's number. So the way we normally do this off the air is I'll just go to Google and pick out a random number generator. It'll spit out a couple of numbers at me, and then we have our winners. So we're going to do exactly that right now, only this time we're going to do it live on the air. Roots, we had 11 entries, so pretty good odds, right? 2 out of 11?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. Actually, it's probably better because I don't even know if all 11 are here. Or I guess, do they have to be here to get it? I guess they don't have.
No, they don't have to be here to get it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oprah made it for the, she came back from the end of the year and she's more excited than ever.
You get a game, and you get a game. All right, so here we are, the Google embedded random number generator from random.org. We have a minimum of 1, we have a maximum of 11. Are we ready, Roots?
Yes, I think we're ready. Is everybody in the chat ready? I'm putting in here
Are
that
you ready?
if you win, message Cyion for hints and tips all day, every day, because he'll tell you.
If you win, Cyon's going to message you for hints and tips.
Oh, that's right.
All right, here we go. The first number is number 1. So let me verify that, but I'm pretty sure that that's Onakazi. Let me see here. Let me get the video up here so I can read the comments. See who won. I knew it when I put out there that Onakazi was going to be number 1. I knew that would be that he would win, right?
That's funny.
So let's see here. Comments. All right. So
It better be number 1 because he's now thinking he's won. If he didn't win.
Yep, indeed.
Okay.
Onakazi is number 1.
All
He
right.
is our first winner. Congratulations,
Congratulations.
Onakazi.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hit me up on the Discord and I will give you your key. After the show, of course. Hit me up after the show. All right, Roots. Here we go.
That is funny.
Yeah, I know, right? Time for the second number. The second number is 5. So let's go see who number 5
Lucky
was.
number 5. Rigged. I know. That's what I was thinking, Matty Matt. Let's start burning this shit down. What do these
Andrew Kiros. He is in the chat as well. I remember seeing him.
Oh, he just said grats. So grats to you for gratzing. I don't even know what that means.
Andrew Kiros is proof positive, Roots, that doing these kind of giveaways can actually bring in lasting subscribers, because if I'm not mistaken, Andrew subscribed to our channel to enter another one of our contests, maybe Freediver or one of them way back when. So and here he is. He's still an active member of our community.
That's awesome. Well, I was just telling somebody last night that we do have the best community. So VR community.
I will concur with that 100%. Our community is awesome. So again, congratulations, Onakazi, Andrew Kiros. I like it when active members of the community win, Roots, because it's not always like that, is it?
No, it's actually not. What's worse is, I mean, and that's good that whoever wins, but you see some name, never seen them, and never see them again, and you're like, man, that guy swooped in, took Andrew's key. Well, not this time. Andrew got the key, damn it. And we're excited for you, Andrew.
Yeah, he says it was Freediver Triton down. So literally he subbed to our channel so that he could get Freediver. And here he is again, not only getting all of this awesome content that he's got between now and then, but he gets another game too. So
absolutely,
it pays to be in the VS community.
It does pay. And now I do want to remind people, if you wanted the key and you didn't get it, Cyion is giving 2 more keys away on his channel at some point. So just follow his channel, subscribe, and then Cyion VR, and he'll let you know when he's giving it away, and you could win it on there. So
absolutely. So the 9 of you that did not win, 2 more keys going out at some point on Cyion's channel, and it just so happens to be the very first thing linked in the description below. So head on over to Cyion VR, subscribe, and just be sure to click that bell so you know when Cyion's doing his giveaway.
It's Blaze wants to know where his car is, and I want to know too. Where's my car, Oprah? You son of a gun.
Dude, where's my car? You know where it's at? It's in dreams.
Oh, yeah.
Someone has made it for you.
Dude, where?
It's in there waiting.
That would be a good game too. No, maybe not.
Anyway, let's talk some more VR, Roots, and let's talk a little bit about Paper Beast. A long time coming with Paper Beast, right? We've been interested in this game for a long time and kind of wondering what exactly is it. because this is such a hard game to describe to people that haven't played it. Now, having played it, now you kind of get it, right? You see how uh, you see why it was so difficult for those players to convey to us what it was, because it's a very unique game to say the least.
Yeah, and it's funny. I was streaming this earlier today, and Jim Hall was literally telling me, "Oh, it doesn't look that good. It's it whatever." I can't remember exactly what he was saying. That it just doesn't look like his type of game. And it's exactly what you were saying. It's hard to describe. It's like you're on an adventure, but it's a puzzle game on how to get where you're going. Like every time I'm getting to places where I've got to figure out, okay, I can't go anywhere. Well, what do I need to do? Oh, I need to take these boulders and build them up to a ramp to get over the thing. And um, it blew me away. It was just so amazingly gorgeous and so cool, and messing with these creatures. And I I like here I got my favorite. Like there was one that was trying to get a little aggressive with the food, and so like I ended up kicking him out. Like I started overfeeding the other guy, and I was like, I he was the redheaded stepchild. And I I saw what you saw last time, I guess, because I didn't go too far. I didn't go around this corner, right there. And I kind of got
Right.
stuck here. And it's a really cool game, man. I want to go back in. This is kind of what I was thinking about when you were saying with Dreams, how you lost time. I was doing it in between stops, and I almost was late to a stop because 2 hours melted by just quick, and I wanted to keep exploring. So
Yeah, it's interesting, right? This game grabs you. It's uh, again hard to describe, but it's very, very immersive, isn't it?
yeah, Jim Hall says I was mopping the ground for 10 minutes. He didn't understand. Yeah, that one creature was you're supposed to mop the sand with it. That's how you melt it away or something. I don't know what the hell I was doing with it, but man, it was so cool.
Yeah, it's like that phenomenon we were talking a moment ago about visiting other places, and this one, I mean, it's to the nth degree, right? Because literally it feels like you're on a whole nother world, but actually it kind of feels like you're just on Earth before people, right? It's like Earth but pristine. It really nailed the aesthetic of being outside in the elements. um, the creatures in the game, they all behaved very naturally, right? They all had personality too, didn't they?
Yeah, and it was weird. Like, and then you had like the evil black thing was spewing all sorts of black stuff out, and it turned looked like a villain creature. And I was like, I don't know if this is a good or not. And then it was like trying to attack the other ones, and I ran it. I was there was like all these dead looking ones, and I ended up having to get water to them, and they came back to life, and it blew me away, dude. Like it was, especially for a game that's free on Viveport Infinity. If you have Viveport Infinity, but even if you don't, for 20 bucks, I just felt for me it was a puzzle adventure. It was literally me figuring out where to go, and the environments were beautiful, and then just trying to figure out where to go. Like I got stuck several times, but then figured it out within 5 minutes or so. Just because it's intuitive and you're trying to mess with everything. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's an environmental puzzler. You have to find your way forward, and it's not always so obvious. And there are these creatures that inhabit the game. There's wildlife everywhere, and a lot of the solutions to the puzzles come through manipulating these creatures with either through what they do in their environment or what they're attracted to or repelled by. You can move these things around and manipulate them into changing the landscape for you and showing you the way forward. Now, that on a very basic level is what this game is. But underneath all of that, there's a story going on as well. And it's not quite so obvious where it's all headed, but it's quite enigmatic and mysterious. But I kind of felt that added a lot to the game. That it's not just about being in this place, but there's something going on here as well, right?
Yeah, and I want to know what the hell is going on because there's some weird stuff happening, man. I still don't understand it, but the paper, man, like the stuff floating around and flying everywhere, the stuff in the sky. I mean, this is just visually stunning. And I went down in this pit to see it. It shot me back up. But no, I can't say enough. I really enjoyed it, and plan on finishing this game. And like I was just telling Jim Hall in the chat, it may not be for everybody, you know, but I really enjoyed it. I didn't expect to enjoy it, and I tried the demo and was like, it's okay. But it's just the way that it all unfolds and how visually cool it is. And you know, I got to have my buddies with me. I was there with Mamefan and Jim Hall, and you know, they were there with me every minute of the stream. So
Yeah, it's interesting because this is one of those games that you really could spend some real time in it, not even doing anything, just chilling out. It's very serene most of the time.
yeah,
Uh,
that's what Mamefan was saying. That music, both him and Jim Hall were like, this music that was in the jukebox or whatever. They were like, shut that
yeah,
crap off, because I was like, what is happening, dude? This, because I got in there and I was all of a sudden there's all this music, this weird stuff, and clearly it was before the demo part, but I was like, I didn't know. I'm like, am I in the wrong game or something? But
that's the way I felt too. I was like, "What? Wait a minute here. I've downloaded and installed something completely different."
you know, it's kind of intriguing because at the beginning you go to that quantum computer and I don't know what you chose. I was like, no, I don't want that. There was a couple of disturbing selections and I was like, no, I don't want to do that. But I wonder if it would have changed what I did, because it's some quantum computer and I guess that's what this whole thing is. But then it's telling me in there, some creatures writing this is not a, uh, you know, what did it say? This is not
Simulation. It's not a
simulation. And I
simulation.
was like, well, what the hell is it then? It's weird. It's very bizarre.
Yeah, it was the same experience for me. I clicked yes on everything, and I went into the little music video thing too, which lasted, uncomfortably long, didn't it? It was like, when's this thing going to end, right?
Yeah, I was dancing for a while, and then I noticed Mamefan was like, yeah, this person needs to stop singing now. And then it finally ended. And then I was in those curtains and I was like, okay, this, you know, now I know where I'm at. And then the game unfolded. But somebody else in the chat, I think it was last week, said that Ray Delator or somebody or Mepper played through this game and they really enjoyed it. And now I see exactly what they were saying, because I'm enjoying it as well.
Yeah, it's one of those games that are just so immersive. The level of immersion is really up there with games like Boneworks. You know, those games that really take you to a different place. But unlike Boneworks, it's a different atmosphere. Most of the time, it's very calming and serene. But from time to time, you make just a few decisions and influence things in such a way that serenity goes away quickly, and all of a sudden it becomes this very intense, all engulfing experience around you. I mean, for example, that confetti storm toward the front of the game, that thing was nuts, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really nuts. What I thought was even more nuts is when the sky split open from another dimension and letters and numbers came pouring out of the sky in confetti numbers, and I was like, what the hell is going on? That's the mop Jim Hall was complaining about. I don't know why he's maybe he hates mops, but I drug that sucker around and because it dissolves the sand, and so you can mop it away and then make your way over the hill. It was really cool.
Yeah, I just kind of let him do his thing. Like if I needed the sand to disappear, I would just kind of pick him up and put it where I needed him to be, and he would take it away, and I would move right on. It was the ones directly after that struck me as very strange,
The
and I don't
long
want to get,
ones.
yeah, the long ones. I don't want to get too much into what these things do because I don't want to give the puzzles away. But you could do a lot of stuff with those long guys.
Yeah, you know who else can do stuff with long guys?
My mom!
Oh.
Yes, sir. Hey, anyway, yeah, Paper Beast way better than I even expected it to be. It goes back to what I was saying before, Roots, about you kind of forget just how polished like a Sony exclusive can be. And even though this isn't a Sony exclusive anymore, it very much is representative of that level of polish that I was talking about. Everything good with this game, no jank whatsoever. Beautiful visuals, beautiful sound, and a unique concept. And I can't wait to get back in and check it out some more.
Yeah, and it ran really good on the Vive port, which is good because you don't always get that, right?
Yeah, and there were tons of great options even, and like you can set this game up for however you like to play your games. You can play it that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway, two winners this week with Dreams and Paper Beast. It's weeks like this, Roots, that makes me sorry that I have to play something else for next week, right? Because I could just keep right on going with these two.
Yeah, that's one of the things that sucks is like you want to finish it, but you don't. If I don't finish it this week, I don't think I will. So I think I might force myself to.
It'll be coming to a future backlog report. That's normally what happens. And with Dreams, I mean, this is something literally we're going to be here a year from now and giving reports on what I just experienced in Dreams. Dreams is something we're going to come back to. Only from this point forward, it'll be more on a dream by dream basis instead of an overview like we did today.
Nice.
Anyway, let's move on to Game of the Month, Roots. This month, July, pretty much the mirror opposite of June, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, I was looking at the list and I was like, man, there's a lot of good games on here. And then even the first category, it's like you would think that it should be cut and dry, right? But there's a lot of implications of maybe something else is better than what I thought it would have been for different reasons. But I don't know. I guess we'll get into that here.
So last month, PSVR was literally a joke when it comes to Game of the Month for June. We were literally laughing at the entries that PSVR had. PC and Quest were so much stronger last month, but this month, polar opposite. PC barely had anything come out in July. I mean, we did have a couple of good ones. It wasn't quite as bad as PSVR was in June, but PSVR bounced back in July in a big, big way. And while we said that PSVR probably won in May and lost really badly in June, I would say that PSVR probably won July, didn't they?
Yeah, I would say so. There's definitely a lot of good games in there.
And in fact, to be quite honest, I'm going to be leaning heavily on the chat here to help me decide because, Roots, I still don't know which one of these titles that I'm going to pick for Game of the Month. So I guess we need to get this discussion started. Let me bring my handy dandy list up here and we'll start talking through some of these titles that came out.
Well, the first one that we have down here, Ray Delator said is definitely the winner for him and probably for a lot of people. But like I said, for me, there's other games out that I like. I would have thought this was cut and dry, and it's definitely like probably going to win for me. But I'm torn like you because one, I haven't played any of them. But with some of the other games that have came out, long term could be significantly better than Iron Man. So I don't know.
Yeah, Iron Man, a big budget PSVR exclusive, and we all know what that means. Anyone who has ever owned a PSVR knows what that means when someone says big budget PSVR exclusive. Now that said, quite possibly, I mean, this is a third-party title. It isn't. This isn't a Sony first-party exclusive. So Iron Man VR very well could be coming to PC sometime, Roots.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, why not? It's definitely a big title that people would love to play, right?
Yeah, and honestly, it's easily the best superhero title in VR. When we all got our headsets, 3-4 years ago, we all started imagining the possibilities, right? What kind of games would be the best suited for virtual reality? And almost all of us went, at least at one point or another, to superhero games, right? But amazingly, we've only had a few superhero games in VR, and the ones that we have never really hit the mark until Iron Man VR. Iron Man VR was really the first one that gave us that awesome story based action adventure game that we all have wanted for VR and superhero games in VR for some time. And for the most part, I think it lived up to all of the hopes and expectations that we had for it.
Nice. Well, pretty much the chat is saying that everybody so far say it's their number one. Mamefan even says he'll rebuy it again if it comes to PC. He enjoyed it that much, and I think it would be even better on PC just because of the tracking limitations. As far as even though you don't feel them, it's good, but that thing it just said at the beginning of this video, if you see this, that means you need to turn around. That's not going to come up in PC world. You're going to be that much more immersed, and people like Mamefan will spin their ass around because he's always turning, right?
Well,
So
it's interesting, Roots, because it's an interesting proposition with this game because it's true that they did a better job than most, if not all, of the move controller games that came before it with designing it so that occlusion doesn't happen as often.
mm,
Now, and they've done that by using the other sensors in the controllers and the headset to fill in the gaps when the camera loses the lights. Now, with that said, honestly, surprisingly, this game had me turning in circles. I mean, this game, you really do naturally move around a lot in this game. Even though you have turn controls with the move controller, uh, the action is so, high paced and fast. And you've got so many enemies coming at you sometimes from all directions. It's only natural to move, and you lose, you don't think about pressing the buttons to turn, you just turn. So while it does a very good job of tracking you after it loses the lights, it doesn't keep you stationary as much as some other PSVR games do. So I agree 100%. If this comes to PC, it's going to be absolutely worth another purchase.
nice. Have you beat it yet?
No, I don't have time. I don't have time to beat anything, Roots. That's always on to the next
Uh,
game with us.
yeah. Well, it's funny because eventually you'll just get a bug and you'll finish it like you have Resident Evil or some of the other games you've been finishing lately, Half-Life. So
Yeah, I'm sure I will. I can literally list uh, probably 20 games in the next 30 seconds that I need to do that for.
yeah.
But yeah, this one definitely being one of them. So yeah, it's a no-brainer. Right? Iron Man VR should be PSVR Game of the Month, but not so fast because we also had Crisis Brigade 2. And everything that we loved about the first Crisis Brigade is present in the second one, Roots. And not only that, this game is actually a beautiful looking game as well.
Yeah, dude, I need to get back into this. They need to bring the multiplayer into this because it's really hard. I got to that final boss of the first section and I didn't do too well. And it's a little daunting because I spent a lot of time to get there. But I need somebody to carry me to the next phase. I want to see the other environments and stuff. I think they did a really good job with this game, way better than the first one, and the first one was amazing. And I agree, this is definitely a really good game.
Yeah, I forget where I heard it at, but I think that the multiplayer update is coming very, very soon for this. So maybe not this week, maybe the next one, but I don't think we're going to have to wait very much longer to before we start seeing co-op being added into the different versions of this game.
Nice. I love it. I love when devs do that.
They're doing that,
Mm.
and this guy,
Yes.
even though this is a very small team, quality developer Diego Martin and the guys at Sumo Lab, very talented group over there.
So, Cyion says a Mamefan carry. That's the absolute best carry you can get, and you're guaranteed to finish it. So, yes, that sounds good.
I don't know. I don't know if I have the legs for that, Roots. This game put a hurting on me like pistol whip.
Yeah, there is a lot of ducking, juking, and driving for sure. I will say.
They need to put like a seated mode or something so you can use button ducking on it. If I could do that, I'd be straight.
Yeah, I don't understand why that. Maybe options they need to add that, right? You know.
Yeah, you'd think so, but again, a lot of these developers have very specific visions for the creations, and it may just be one of those things where like, hey, dude, this is VR. You're not sitting down. Stand up and play my damn game.
Yeah, Mamefan says he's never played Crisis VR Brigade 2. You gotta check it out. It's really good.
Yeah, if you like the first one, you'll love the second one. If you didn't like the first one, probably not going to care for the second one.
I don't know. The second one just looks so much better. It looks more realistic. The guns are better. A lot of the things that people might not have liked about the first one, it being a little cartoony, is much better in the second one, and I just think it felt better.
Yeah, plays a lot like Blood and Truth, to
Yeah,
be quite honest. So if you had fun playing Blood and Truth, you probably like Crisis Brigade 2.
and Mamefan, it's actually pretty hard. So knowing that you
It's
actually like a challenge, it would probably be right up your alley.
Yeah, it plays like an arcade game. It's like you die, you start over, you die, you start over. You make it a little bit farther, you die, you start over. It's that trial and error, repetition, practice makes perfect gameplay that a lot of our arcade games back in the day had.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, Crisis Brigade 2, a strong challenger for Marvel's Iron Man VR. But then we have Dreams, which I just talked about, Roots. And this is interesting. This is where the conversation uh, starts to get a little bit more difficult because while I've had more fun probably playing Iron Man, which I don't even know that that's true. Honestly, I've spent a lot more time in Dreams, uh, even though I've played Iron Man on more different occasions. I've got way more game time in on Dreams, and while the good in Iron Man is way better than the best good thing in Dreams, there's so much more in Dreams, and I honestly feel like, uh, while I probably will have finished and been done with Iron Man a year from now, I'm still going to be playing Dreams. 1, 2, maybe even 3 years from now, I'll still be playing Dreams. So this is a difficult decision, Roots. Give me some logic to clarify this.
Well, that's exactly what I was talking about. That the dreams was what I was thinking about because of the implications of what it is and what it can be and what it will be over the next year or two, and the continuous content. You're gonna finish Iron Man in like 8-10 hours and then be done with it. Maybe never go back to it again. Whereas you're gonna play Dreams, you might go away from it for a few months, come back, and there's some really cool creation or whatever. So there's definitely for your bang for your buck, you're getting more for your money in Dreams, and then you can create stuff as well. So that was the conundrum for me, and it's not necessarily that I think it's a better game than Iron Man per se, because obviously Iron Man's a big IP. Everyone's excited. Every single person in the chat said it's amazing that's played it, and it makes me want to play it. But that is what I thought. So I don't know. That's the conundrum. So, but I do lean more. If I was going to be honest, I lean more on what the chat's saying, being that I've never played either one. So I think you're in a harder place than me.
Yeah, man, I honestly don't know which way to go. I mean, because we've got Dreams, and I've already spent an hour talking about it, or 30 minutes, or whatever it was. So I don't want to rehash all of that. But like you just said, we have Iron Man VR, which is probably a top 10 PSVR game right out the box, and then we have Dreams PSVR, which might be, in the top 20 or 30 based on content alone. But it's only going to get better, right? It's going to be, if it's 30 today, it's going to be 25 a month from now. And then, 20 a month after that. This could be one of those situations, one of those hypotheticals that we talk about, Roots, where one game doesn't win the game of the month, but goes on to become the game of the year.
Yeah, very well. So could be. It all depends on what comes out this rest of this year. But yeah, I agree. By the end of the year, who knows what the hell will be released? Maybe there is a Half-Life Alex on PlayStation VR recreation that's amazing, or
Yeah,
another
and
chapter.
And then we have the prospects of aim support and what that's going to mean for it after they add aim controller support to it. Is you say there's not enough aim controller games? Well, guess what, friends? There's going to be when that happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Mamefan wants to know what the best Dreams game is.
Dude, I don't know. There's so many of them, and they're all right around the same quality level. I mean, most of the ones I played. The thing about Dreams is none of them are very long, right? And I don't know if Mainfan caught the talk we had about Dreams at the top of the show. These are all very short things, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. But the thing about it is you can sort them by ratings, right? So you can see which ones are the good ones and which ones are the bad ones. And I haven't really played any of the bad ones, or many of them anyway.
Mm.
Most of them are right around the same quality level, and they're pretty fun. Uh, but nothing's really knocked my socks off. But they're all really fun, and then they're over, and you're on to the next one.
Mm.
So really, when it comes to what's amazing in Dreams, it's Dreams itself. It's not really any one certain dream that I checked out. PT was good. The enemy the enemy NPCs were not very good looking in it. The environment was very good looking. The sound was very good and dead on with the original Dreams. But the NPC looks like something a 10-year-old would draw.
Mm.
With that said, though, I mean the jump scares were on. It was really well done. And again, unlike the PC version of PTV that I played, this one actually went through to the finish.
Mhm,
So
you could
big
finish it.
big points for that. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed PT. I don't know, man. There was another one. See, the problem is I don't remember the names of these things. Tectonic, I mentioned earlier, was really good. There's another one that is kind of like a Galaga game, right? You're like playing like a shooter, an old retro arcade shooter, but then there's a twist to it that I don't want to give away. That one was really cool. Um, there's a platformer called Kubrick, like Kubrick, but only it's Kubrick. That was really cool. It was a puzzle platformer, and the way that thing worked is there are these series of cubes in front of you, right? And your character is in these little passageways that are cut into the face of the cube, and there are you can't jump or anything, right? You can only walk, but you can manipulate the cube, so you can turn it in every direction, and you do that to make your way around the different obstacles and dangers to find your way onto the next cube where you do it all again. That was very high quality. I feel like if they had enough levels, they could put $10 or $15 on it and sell it. It was a really good puzzle platformer.
Wow, that sounds pretty good. Well, it sounds like to me like it's more of the potential of what it could be. The actual engine is what you were saying is Dreams is amazing. I guess we still don't we have one more game right in the contention before we decide, right? Isn't there one more PlayStation
Well,
VR?
well, that's the thing. That's the thing. So it's cut and dry, right? Either it's going to be Iron Man or it's going to be Dreams. But I say to you, friends, what about Pistol Whip? Because Pistol Whip just came to PlayStation VR, and like it or not, folks, 6, 7, 8 months in, Pistol Whip is still one of the best games in VR.
Yeah. What is the community saying about Pistol Whip? Are they like freaking out about it? People loving it? Because I know my
Well, here's the
thighs are still
thing.
sore.
It's crazy, man, because the people that are playing Pistol Whip are loving Pistol Whip. But to be honest, Pistol Whip is totally overshadowed right now. They could not have picked a worse time to release Pistol Whip on PSVR because it's still all about Dreams. It was about
Mm.
Dreams before Pistol Whip came out. It's still all about Dreams. Pistol Whip is very much living in the shadow of Dreams right now.
Yeah, well, this is definitely not. This isn't even Pistol Whip in my video, which is amazing. But I'm gonna find it. But yeah, no, I maybe it's because. Let me ask you this: do you think it's because they didn't have the advertisement with all the YouTubers wearing a suit and tie? Because that was
Hey,
what. Yeah, go ahead.
now that you mention it, if they had gotten Brian Paul in one of those suits, I might have bought another copy of it myself.
Yeah, I see. I think that was a good marketing scheme. But yeah, so this is Pistol Whip. But yeah, I agree. This is definitely, and there's not too many good shooters like games like this for PlayStation VR, and there's not as many. I guess they have as many rhythm games, the big ones, but they don't have all the other janky ones. So
Yeah, it's a great game, and it really is like they designed this game to be played on PSVR because all of the limitations of the move controllers and the single camera tracking, that stuff's not really going to affect you in Pistol Whip just because of the way the game's designed.
oh, good. Well, yeah. So now it's a conundrum, Wes. It was bad enough with three, well, actually two, I guess. Now it's three to choose, and we'll just throw out Crisis VR Brigade because it's not quite that level. But so what do you guys? What does the chat think? What is the? I mean, most of the people were screaming Iron Man, but that was before we brought up Pistol Whip. So what do you think? Did we change our mind, or is Iron Man still the game of the month?
All right, everybody, please give us a hand in the chat right now. Let us know Marvel's Iron Man VR, Dreams PSVR, or Pistol Whip. What do you guys think should be the PSVR game of the month? I mean, they came out with enough quality this month to do them for a year, to be quite honest.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder, did that if everybody, I would imagine most people that own PlayStation VR probably picked up 3 out of those 4 at least, right?
Yeah, if not, I mean, they're crazy. I picked up Dreams forever ago just because I knew this day was coming, right? And I'm glad I did. Which
Okay.
honestly, though, I didn't really end up saving any money because I got the $10 off, but I mean, you can buy it on sale now for $10 off. So
I
what did I
won't,
really save?
I was just about to go buy it, but I don't have a PlayStation, so I guess I could for the future, right?
Exactly. Yeah, you absolutely could. But the thing about Dreams that's cool is there's a physical edition as well.
Mm,
So you should be able to get it on sale forever.
yeah. Well, that's good. Well, it seems like everybody so far is saying Iron Man in the chat. And that would be, I mean, if I'm being honest, that would be what I'm leaning towards. Only for today. A year from now, I guarantee Dreams is probably going to be surpassing that Iron Man, but because of the content it has today, I'd have to lean towards Iron Man.
Well, I honestly still don't know what to do. So we're going to go and I'm just going to take everyone else's word for it. We're going to choose Iron Man VR as PSVR game of the month. But honestly, it feels so wrong to me, Roots, because
Mm,
I feel like Dreams is going to be this transcendent thing that goes on for a long time from now. And I feel like we'll look back on this like, what the hell? How was it not Dreams? You know what I mean?
yeah,
Um,
it's gonna be another hands the what was the Jerry Rice Award. I felt so stupid weeks later. We made a mistake. It was definitely was not the one we picked. I can't remember what we said it was now, but
don't
yeah.
matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter
Uh,
exactly.
Anyway, we're going to go with Iron Man VR. We're definitely going to put an honorable mention on Dreams. So Dreams does stay alive and in the conversation for Game of the Year. So it may be the first one ever to fulfill that hypothetical situation where a game doesn't win Game of the Month but does go on to win Game of the Year.
Yeah, they're talking about Adam Savage. Did you see how he made that pistol whip? Oh, you did because it was in the Discord, right? He made that pistol whip gun.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah, actually, I saw stills of it. I didn't watch like a video, but I saw like still photographs of it.
yeah, he made a cool gun for pistol whip. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was only a few days ago, right?
Yeah, yeah, maybe it wasn't 2 weeks. I know it was like a week or 2 weeks ago, or I don't know. Seems like forever ago now, but
Mamefan says I probably haven't played much Iron Man. I haven't played nearly as much Iron Man as I have Dreams. Mamefan, I've only probably went into Iron Man and put 4 good sessions into it. But I've only been in Dreams like 3 times. But the 3 times that I've been in Dreams, I've spent hours and hours and hours in there. Whereas when I go into Iron Man, I play it for like an hour, 90 minutes, and I put it down.
Yeah. Well, the story hasn't hooked you then, right? You got to get hooked.
No, I play honestly. A lot of my time in Iron Man has been they have these I don't know, these time trials and things so that you can hone your skills in the
Hmm.
suit. Like my whole first session in Iron Man, I barely did any like story stuff because I kept trying to beat my time in those time trials. And you'll fly around and you'll fly through a tunnel, shoot this kind of enemy, go on to the next thing, shoot that target down through there.
Hmm.
And I spent a lot of time doing that. Um, so yeah, probably half my time, honestly. I spent a lot of time playing those sorts of things. But uh, Iron Man, great fun. The last time I went into it was intense. So I probably should get back into it and pick it back up.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Cyon's asking if Into the Radius makes it into the running since it changed so much since it started for PCVR.
See, I've had this debate with myself today because there's not a whole lot coming to PCVR or that came to PCVR in July unless you look at stuff that came out of early access. If you look at that, then we have Into the Radius. If you look at that, we have Carnage Chronicles, both of which have had significant updates. But at the end of the day, Roots, I felt like we've asked this question before,
Mm-hmm.
and we've always decided if something had a very prominent early access launch, then it doesn't get a second chance for Game of the Month as it leaves early access.
Yeah, unfortunately, otherwise you would have like we in what the decider was. I think it was in the end of the year awards show, and Beat Saber. People were trying to put Beat Saber in there. We're like, dude, that's like 2 years old. Well, but it's on Quest now, or no, maybe it wasn't Quest. I don't know what it was. It was another new release or something. And there's so many um idiosyncrasies as far as that goes. But no, unfortunately, we already did Into the Radius. Did we do it already? It must have been whatever month. When did it come out? Last year? It's been a while. Six months
It's
ago?
been a little while, something like that.
Okay.
Skiba says he can't play Iron Man. Too many tracking issues. I think that I'm sure you've heard it 1,000 times, but you probably want to move your camera, Skiva. The higher up, the better. You want it centered on your play space and 7 feet, 7.5 feet even, looking down on it like a shower head. That's what you want. And make sure, of course, that you don't have any reflective surfaces. And it helps, of course, to turn the lights out as well. If you do that, I don't honestly don't see why you would have too many tracking issues to play Iron Man.
Isn't it funny how the same thing that you do for the PlayStation VR is the exact opposite that you do for Quest as far as lighting? It's
Yeah, I
like
know, right?
same thing with Rift S. I'm like, ooh, my tracking's a little weird. I got to turn my lights up a little bit, so bizarre.
So bizarre. How
Mm.
bizarre.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to Oculus Quest. Another solid month from Oculus Quest. Again, as usual, mostly ports, but some really good ones, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, there's a lot of good ones on there. And the first one is I know you've played it, right? You had a good time in this one. It's definitely, I think I tried it as well. I don't remember too much about it, but it was pretty spooky.
Layers of Fear VR came to Oculus Quest in a surprise drop on July 9th. Uh, no, I mean, this one wasn't even rumored to be coming to Quest. They just up and out of nowhere dropped it for Oculus Quest. And from what I can tell, it was a fairly faithful recreation of the PC original, which I did get a chance to play and enjoyed very much.
Yeah, see, Skiva says I don't want to take my house apart for better PSVR tracking. You know,
Is that hold on a second. Is that what moving your camera is? Really?
no.
Really, Skiba?
Well, what's funny about it, and it's not a knock at you, Skiva, because everybody's the same way. Usually, people will complain about the tracking, but then you give them a solution, they're like, "This is too hard to do."
My bad. I didn't read his comment before. He said he has too many glossy picture
Oh, I
frames.
gotcha. Okay.
Okay, I get that.
Well, maybe you just need to get rid of glossy picture frames. Change it
Yeah,
just for the tracking.
yeah. Well, Do what you gotta do, huh? Since when do pictures get in the way of my VR happiness?
Well,
Since never. That's when.
I'll smash them all.
Fuck yeah. Anyway, that wasn't the only Quest port this month. Actually, there were all ports in a sense, but the next one came with very much fanfare roots. I'm wondering where PD is because PD is the Five Nights at Freddy's cheering section anytime we do a video. July 16th, Steel Wool Studios, Roots, Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted, the fastest selling Quest game ever.
That's crazy.
Let that sink in for a moment.
Well, I'll tell you what, it tells you that there's a lot of younger people playing VR, especially Quest, because that is it. Where's Five Nights at Freddy's? People are already screaming for the DLC now that the game's out. PD being one of them. Of course, he's just mocking, but it's definitely very popular.
Yes, that's the thing here. I mean, I wouldn't say that it's the best game ever, but it's certainly one of the most popular VR games ever. We have to give it its props at that. And what you're saying there is absolutely true. A lot of young people owning Oculus Quest, and that's a good thing, right? It raises the profile on social media, on YouTube. It raises the profile of VR that these kind of titles are drawing in the younger crowd.
Yeah.
So a good thing overall.
You just need a few TikTokers to start TikToking with the Quest on, and it's on, dude. It's just gonna skyrocket. Although we're about to lose TikTok, so
yeah, I wouldn't want TikTokers to be recording their Oculus Quest footage because all of a sudden we might have other countries stealing our VR secrets, and we might see Vive Focus come out that looks an awful lot like the Oculus Quest.
Are you trying to say that they're not already copying?
Hey, Microsoft's thinking about buying TikTok. Maybe they're trying to make their WMR better. You never know.
Yeah, that's true. Zaylin Maru says bought Five Nights at Freddy's and Covert Co-op or Covert Ops and haven't played either one of them yet.
Yeah, I've got a long list. I bought Daracene on PSVR. I don't know, like a year ago, right? Because it hadn't gone on sale. It was like 20 or 25 bucks at launch. High quality, story driven title. I really wanted to play it when it was launched, but I wanted to wait and get it on sale. Took it forever to go on sale. I finally got it for like 10 or 12 bucks, and I never played it. Now, Roots, it's on sale for $6.
Oh, shoot,
and
dude.
I still haven't played Daracene.
Oh, God, dude. You let it get to $1, then you'll play it, right?
Right. By the way, shout out Zaylin Maru, the latest and greatest, well, I won't say greatest, the latest supporter on Patreon. He's actually pledged
nice
to us on Patreon, and he's going to get a chance to check out this week's Money Show 4 when we release it.
The Money Show. Nice. Well, thanks. We appreciate that. Definitely every bit helps. And
absolutely. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Zaylin. We appreciate your support. Anyway, back to this Quest lineup, dude. I mean, it's already pretty good. Layers of Fear, Five Nights at Freddy's. What about Coaster Combat, Roots? I've never played this yet. I actually almost bought it today. Not because I think that it is the best iteration of this concept that I've ever seen, but the concept itself is one of the coolest things I've ever done in VR. So, yeah, another good one. And another one that a lot of people swear by. A lot of Go owners swear by this title. So I probably should give it a look.
I want to do it, dude. I kind of upsets me that you haven't played it yet, because if I had this, I'd be buying it right now. I love roller coasters. That was always my favorite part of every game that, like a platformer game, the Donkey Kongs, you'd have those roller coaster levels. And then combining shooting, it just looks really cool to me. Now, if you could do against each other, that would be really cool. Like if you were racing on separate tracks, and they were, I don't know, mixed, you could shoot each other. That'd be pretty cool, right?
That'd be awesome. And someday somebody's going to figure that out, Roots, and we're going to get this side-by-side roller coaster experience that we've always wanted.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Anyway, not a whole lot here for me to say about this. I know it comes highly regarded by a lot of people, But at the end of the day, I haven't played it yet. But you know, it's just $10, and I've got that $10 burning a hole in my pocket, Roots. I think I might have to go buy this one.
Absolutely. Just so you can tell Roots how good it is. I mean, if it was
Hmm.
good on the go, it's going to be better on the Quest. I guarantee it, you know?
Oh, it's way better because it has 6 DOF.
Yeah.
Not only that, you can dual wield. There's a lot of stuff on this version you couldn't do on the Go version.
Yeah. And it's going to look better. I mean, I guarantee they're going to soup it up.
Absolutely.
So,
And now we come to In Death Unchained, Roots. So, you know, this is when I said that they were kinda all ports. This is where the kinda comes from because, well, it's true. In Death is a PC game and a PSVR game for that matter. Um, In Death Unchained actually is quite a bit different on Oculus Quest than it was on those other platforms.
yeah. Yeah. And I just found out that I guess those two things were sharing the same thing. That's why they, came up, but I got In Death Unchained. Yeah, you know, this game looks so good, even though I have the original In Death. Part of me is jealous. I want to play this version of it. It looks cool. I love the enemies look so much more unique than in the other version, right?
Yeah, there's newer enemies. There's a new level, and you know, just a great job by the developer here. Now, full disclosure, they did send me a copy of this game for free, but I mean, you guys have been around long enough to know that you can't buy my opinion. And in my opinion, I enjoy the Oculus Quest version of In Death a lot more than I enjoy the PC version. It's just funner to play. It just feels better. And The support has been off the chain. They've already added in free locomotion. They've updated the visuals significantly. And I didn't check to see if they added in that new game mode, but I know one's on the way. Just an absolute gem of a Quest title, a must own in my opinion. You know, PSVR Frank actually did a video on this game today, and he seems to be as taken with it as I was.
Really? Wow. That's cool.
Yeah, yeah, it really is. So yeah, another great title for Oculus Quest, In Death Unchained. Only been out for a little over a week now, Roots, but you know, a very very good title.
Cool. Well, I definitely think it's way up there for the month, like on the list. So,
And to round out the Oculus Quest list, yet another PC port. This one fairly high profile though. Onward, Roots, and as much negative stuff has been said about Onward in recent days, that's all about the PC version. When it comes to the Quest version, it's actually being pretty well regarded. The fact that they've got this thing on Quest at all is a miracle to me. So, yeah, I felt like it absolutely deserved to be on this Game of the Month list.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't. I'm not one for the Onward game as far as the game mode, but it definitely is a got good mechanics. It's been a while since I've been in. I need to go back in there.
Yeah, I've never played it at all, and you'd think that this would have been the first one I went to, because it's got that co-op base built into it, and that's really when I play these types of games, I like for it to be co-op. So Onward, Zero Caliber, these should have probably been the first ones I went to. Happen to be the ones that I've never played.
Yeah,
So
that's weird, right?
Skiba says he's loving Onward on Quest, so there you go.
Okay.
Take it right from the horse's mouth. He also says that, wow, now I need it talking about In Death Unchained. Uh, PC looks better from a visual standpoint and an animation standpoint, but in my opinion, Quest takes it in every other department. So take that for what it is.
Yeah, can't shard it though.
So here we are, Roots. Here we are. Now this is one of those good old fashioned dilemmas like that we generally tend to have during these discussions. Do we pick the popular game or do we pick the game that I enjoyed the most? Because those are two very different things here.
Well, let's go down the list and rule some games out. Onward, I don't think is gonna make it for me anyway. Neither will Layers of Fear. The other ones, I've never. I mean, Coaster Combat. I wish you had tried it. Five Nights at Freddy um is very well received. I would lean towards, as far as the gameplay and everything, and you enjoying it, I'd say In Death is probably the better game of all of those games. Just because the mechanics and everything, but and Five Nights at Freddy's is so simple, even though it's very well received. I just don't know that it's the best game. So that's my thinking anyway.
So here's my thinking with it. It was Coaster Combat, as cool as it looks. It's a $10 Oculus Go for it. It's not the game of the month when it's going up against these other heavy hitting games. So we can strike that one off the list. Layers of Fear, a very, very good game and a very highly regarded game. Probably would be toward the top of the list for me if it's just a what's Wes's favorite game of the month contest. It's not just that though, so we have to take that into consideration here, and what other people think about it. You know, it's not going to win any awards for popularity, even though the people that did play it liked it. So we'll go ahead and knock that off. And then comes Onward, and this is where it gets a little tricky because you want to just strike Onward off to begin with because it's not our cup of tea, not something we don't really play all that much. But the fact of the matter is Onward is very popular. Out of all these shooters, it's probably the most popular one. But then, if you're going to make a choice based on popularity, Five Nights at Freddy's, again, the fastest selling title in Oculus Quest history. So if we're picking the popular one, then that's the one we're going to pick, not Onward. So uh, that pretty much strikes Onward out of contention and just brings us down to, in my opinion, one of the best Quest games I've ever played, In Death Unchained, versus the favorite, everybody's favorite game, Five Nights at Freddy's. So that's the dilemma here. Do we go with the popular game? Do we go with the one that's really good?
I go with the really good, only because everybody in the chat that said that there was universal about Five Nights at Freddy's. You play it for 10, 15, 20 minutes, and then, it's jump scares. It's good for kids. I don't know. It's not my cup of tea. So, but like you said, In Death, I loved In Death on the PC, and this is an even better version outside of them ripping the shard out of Roots' hand. Other than that, it's an amazing game, or at least it looks like it. And you just said it. It's one of the best games you've played on the Quest, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But Onikazi does make a good point here that I forgot to mention. He says that the shard is in death for him as well, and it's one of the reasons he's holding off on double dipping on the Quest. Well, that's very smart because the shard is a different thing on Quest. I'm glad you mentioned it because I forgot to. The shard works differently on Quest, and it isn't something that you just throw somewhere where you want to go. That's what the bolt is for. If you want to go somewhere, you can shoot it with the teleport bolt. What the shard does is strafe quickly in whatever direction that you sling your arm. So basically, you're going to move about 5 feet in some direction, whatever direction you throw in. So that's a good point. The shard functions very differently on the Quest version.
Okay. Well,
so I think you're right, Roots. I think we need to go with In Death Unchained here, just because it's such a good game. It isn't just a straight port; it's its own game from a whole new developer, and it's very good. It's again one of the best Quest games that I've ever played. Now the question becomes, do we do a runner up, or is this just the clear winner this month?
I don't know, because the runner up, we just run into the same problem we just had with all of all those other titles. Because I could say each one of them could be a runner up in their own right. It'd be tough.
And I think you're right. I think we just call it In Death and move on here because we could say Five Nights at Freddy's or Onward as the runner up, but the truth is, at the end of the day, I don't really see either one of those titles factoring into the Oculus Quest Game of the Year discussion anyway.
Yeah.
So, and that's kind of what the runner-up's for, was so that we can talk about it some more later. I don't feel like we need to talk about this one later, Roots. I feel like it's pretty clear cut.
It's done. It's solidified. It's over.
Absolutely. And that's going to bring us into PCVR, friends. And slim pickings in PCVR land. Again, if we were counting games that were coming out of early access, we would have Into the Radius to throw into this mix. We would have Carnage Chronicles to throw into this mix, and we would have quite the conversation and debate on our hands here. But the fact is, we don't have either one of those, and we hardly have anything. But we still got a pretty good debate going on here, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, yeah. Well, one thing that I didn't know we had, which was a game that exists, and that's Suicide Guy VR, and that just came out. This is th- when I saw this, I was like, "What the hell is this, dude?" Somehow it flew under my radar. I don't know if you like. I mean, it looks kind of cool actually graphically, but I don't know. What do you have you seen? Have you played this game?
I haven't played it, but I was very aware of it. What this is the VR adaptation of a fairly popular mobile gaming franchise. It's a puzzle platformer, and the premise here is this guy gets stuck in his own dreams, and you have to find your way through it, try to
Hmm.
escape the dream. And as you might imagine, you end up dying a whole hell of a lot doing that, and that's why he is Suicide Guy.
Hmm.
A lot of comic relief here. Um, I mean, just from what people say, a lot of fun too, actually.
It actually looks pretty good. I wonder if this is on Viveport Infinity. This looks like a good Viveport Infinity game.
You know, it does seem that way, doesn't it? I don't know. You might want to keep your eye out for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway, I just put it on here. One, because it's a fairly well-known franchise, and two, we needed games, man. I didn't want to come with just two games, so we brought Suicide Guy just to make it three.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, at least it's an extra game we can talk about, right? Since we can't talk about the other two, Into the Radius or Carnage Chronicles, but people are excited about Carnage. VR Spry Guy says he's been waiting to get Carnage Chronicles until it was out of early access. So here's your chance, bud. And it's a good
Yeah,
game.
whole new chapter added to it too. It's like a third mission or campaign.
Wow, I need to go back in there because I know I played through it with you, or at least a good chunk of it, and I know I played through it with Mamefan as well, and it was fun.
Yeah, beautiful game too. Good looking game.
Yeah, it's one of the best dungeon crawlers in VR in my opinion. And didn't start that way, and they've really worked on it for a long time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So yeah, that's a good choice for a future money show as well.
yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, let's move on to the real discussion here, and that is what is PCVR's game of the month? It really comes down to two titles. The first of which came out on the same day as Suicide Guy VR, and it's also a game that we've already talked about quite a bit during today's episode, and that is Paper Beast. And Roots, I really wish that I had spent more time in this game this week instead of playing Dreams the whole time, because I feel like we've got a debate on our hands here.
Yeah, because I want to finish this game. I want to see what what's cool is, and I guess it was cool and it was kind of disturbing at the same time. You saw that fire thing, right? And the meteor, and you can melt ice and stuff. So I was like carting that around. I was melting everything. I was having a good old time, and then this thing sucked it out of my hand and took it away from me, Wes. And I was like, "What the hell, dude? I want more melting." But no, this game, like I said, I raved about it. Did you get to the balloon ride?
I don't think so. No,
Oh,
no, we
dude,
didn't
it's
do
just
it.
it's so cool, man. Like, you're just I can't say enough about this game. If you're on the fence about it, if it looks like something you might like to play, if you like easy environmental puzzles and a cool adventure, this is a good game.
Or if you just like, to be transported to another world, this feels incredibly realistic. This world, not only from a production standpoint, but from just the behavior. The physics is tight. The behavior of the creatures is very natural seeming. And again, it's one of those games. There's a very few titles in VR that you could just, if you wanted to get away, you could just put the headset on and not play the game, just hang out. I feel like this is one of those games where you could just put the headset on for a while, kick your feet up, and relax.
Yeah, what would make it better would be co-op. I always say that about everything.
Dude, That'd be awesome. I mean, to navigate like for example, that tunnel structure. I mean, did that not feel like natural caves to you? I mean, obviously it didn't look photorealistic, but it very much felt like you were navigating your way, trying to find your way out, didn't it?
Yeah, no, I definitely felt like you were present, and the environments, the sky, and just the weirdness of it. That's what got me, is like every time like every 5 minutes, I was like, what is going on? And I like that. It's like so crazy. You just, the environments are really cool.
Yeah, everything about this game is really cool. I highly recommend it. And another one of those that the flat video doesn't know justice. You really have to get in there and start messing around to get it.
Yeah, Jim Hall was shitting all over it when I was streaming it. He's like, man, what is this? I was like, dude, you have no
Well,
idea how cool it is. But
I get it. I mean, go back and look at some of our preview segments leading up to the release of this one. Uh, I was not very excited for the release of Paper Beast, and I was pretty clear about that. That I wasn't really seeing anything that excited me to check out. That I was pretty much the only thing that was exciting about it was the developer and the pedigree, but the game itself just didn't look like much to me. Well, I mean, I can say now that I was wrong, and I look forward to spending more time in this alien world.
yeah, absolutely.
So this is going to be our game of the month, right? Well, not so fast, friends, because we have short memories. Because just a few days before this came out, Vertigo Remastered was released, and another, I mean, possible game of the year contender in my opinion. I think Paper Beast fits that description, and so does Vertigo Remastered.
Yeah, this game was so good too, man. This is a one. I mean, the games are getting better, Wes. Like obviously, we all know that, but like when I go to stream a game and like I just enjoy the gameplay and I'm like raving about it within the first 5 to 10 minutes, and that's both of these games. That's how I was like, oh my god, this is really cool. Um, and Zach nailed this, man. Like I call him on first name basis. We're good friends, but he really nailed this game. He is a prodigy for sure.
Yeah, dude, a great. I want to say a great remaster, like I played the first one, but truth is, I'd never played the original Vertigo, uh, and I'm glad I didn't play the original Vertigo because apparently, according to everybody, this one's way better. The other one's a little bit broken and janky. This one, not so much. This is just a solid, fun game, dude. It's not the visually best looking thing I've ever seen. It's all about the gameplay. It's about the world. It's about
Story.
yeah, the story and how unique the characters are in this game, um, the enemies and such. So yeah, I think that Paper Beast and Vertigo Remastered, while they're both extremely immersive games, I feel like they have different strengths. And whereas the environments and the things are really the strength of Paper Beast, the environment and the polish level, and the with Vertigo Remastered, it's just that good old fashioned classic gameplay loop, right? Where you're making your way through a sci-fi adventure, shooting things, uh, you know, discovering secret passages, encountering otherworldly creatures, everything you love about that type of game. So again, I'm kind of at a loss here. I really enjoyed both of these games. Really not so sure which one I should pick.
Hussein X has a good question, which I know we have an answer for, but he says if Vertigo Remastered can make it, why not Into the Radius? And my guess is, I mean, this is a completely remastered game, whereas Into the Radius is the same game. It's just got all the bugs tweaked out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Into the Radius is not a remaster. It's just the full release of an early access version. It's still the same game, where Vertigo Remastered is a complete remake from the ground up of the whole thing. It's a different scenario uh, between the two.
But it's a good question. So
Yeah,
to clarify.
absolutely.
So for me,
Yeah.
I guess both games are really good. I enjoyed both games tremendously. I I just feel like Vertigo Remastered is a little bit above it, just because it's just it really does feel like a AAA game from this one dude that created it. It's just the most impressive thing I've seen in a long time, and at least that would be my vote. So
Well, my initial feelings are pretty much that I probably should agree with you here, but I'm not so sure that I will after I play more Paper Beast. I've played more of Vertigo Remastered than I have of Paper Beast, and I feel like I had a better time in Vertigo Remastered than I did in Paper Beast. But I'm just getting started. I feel like I really dropped the ball here in not playing that game more. I really didn't anticipate liking it as much as I did, and I'm not so. This is another one of those cases where Vertigo Remastered is probably going to get my vote here. But if you ask me again a month from now, I might not tell you the same thing.
well, I'll tell you what, that's definitely exactly why we have the runner up or the honorable mentions, right? Because by the time the end of the year discussion comes, we might be thinking differently about this lineup. We might be saying hands down, Paper Beast is better, you know?
Yeah, I think that's a real possibility. I really do. That said, I still haven't finished Vertigo Remastered either, so it could get even crazier. And matter of fact, if it's anything like the what I've played so far, it most definitely is going to get crazier as we go.
Yeah, it's crazy. I just enjoyed it. I enjoyed both games. I'm glad I played both of them. So
All right, so I think we've reached a consensus here. Vertigo Remastered, the July PCVR game of the month. Paper Beast, a definite honorable mention, and a game that we will revisit at the end of the year when we are deciding what the PCVR game of the year is. And we'll probably, quite honest, our PCVR experience with Paper Beast is probably going to play very heavily into the PSVR game of the year talk, right?
yeah, because it's the same game, regardless of which platform you're playing it on, and it's just so good. Though I do wonder, and you don't have a copy of it. I wonder what the difference of how it feels with the move controllers versus everything else.
Yeah. Well, honestly, the way the controls are, I got to imagine it's probably very similar. I mean, it's not a very movement intensive thing, and it uses hybrid locomotion, so you can, it seems like move locomotion would work just fine with it. It's a game uh, that lends itself well to being played seated. I played it sitting down, as I do most of the time, it seems these days. But pretty much, if you can play a game well from a chair, you're not going to have any trouble playing it on PSVR.
Yeah, that's true. True.
Anyway, this is normally the part where we have this big segment about what we can expect out of the next month. But to be honest, Roots, I feel like we need to change our approach toward the next month preview because, to be quite honest, we never know what's coming in the next month. We always have 2 or 3 release dates, and then whatever the big release for the next month is, it normally just ends up getting dropped out of nowhere. So I've got a few things for us to think about here coming out possibly in the next month, maybe not. I thought I'd run down, but honestly, the whatever the game of the month in August is going to be, we probably don't even know that it's coming yet.
Yeah, we haven't even found out, and we don't even. We've got some games coming out that I've been waiting for forever, man. Where's my Jesus radar? Where's I want the Metal Gear Medal of Honor. When's that game dropping? Like we haven't had a definitive date on some of these, right? So they're just going to drop out of nowhere. And
dude, yeah, if you really think about it, and the idea that we're now firmly in the second half of the year, and then you think back and you start to think about all the games that are supposed to be coming in 2020. I mean, if they really do come this year, we have got a jam-packed end of the year on the way between Medal of Honor and Sniper Elite and your Undead Citadels and your After the Fall and your Walking Dead Onslaught. I mean, it goes on and on and on. There's so many great games on the way that are supposed to be coming this year. I mean, good God, man, it's going to be crazy if we end up actually getting all of them.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Delirium Drew just joined us. What's up, buddy? Let me ask you, Drew, PSVR game of the month, Iron Man VR or Dreams? Because we already made this decision, but I'm not so sure that we made the right one.
Wes is having buyer's remorse. Son of a
Uh,
bitch.
yeah. Anyway, let's talk about some of the stuff that we could be seeing in August. First of all, as I mentioned, the Sony State of Play is this Thursday, and we already know that it's going to be PSVR centric. So I think it stands to reason that we're very likely to get a release date for Star Wars Vader Immortal, and I think that it's very possible, like other State of Plays before, that they may just go ahead and announce that Vader Immortal is available for purchase today.
Yeah, you're right. I have a good feeling it's going to drop on Thursday as well.
So definitely looking out for that. Roots, so hoping that Vader Immortal comes out all in one shot. Really, that's the only way that it ever should have come out.
Yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't. Hopefully they learn their lesson, because everybody in our chat, I'd say probably 90% of the people that commented last time said they didn't get the third one, or they only got the first one. Yeah, I got all three just because I wanted to have the whole thing, but still.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like it's a little less than 2 hours of total runtime for that thing, and if it were all together, even for $30, with the quality level, it would have been a lot more well received.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's what they decide to do there.
I think they will.
We know that Stride is said to be released this summer. For those of you that don't know, that is the Mirror's Edge like parkour / action game that's coming to us from Joyway. They said it's coming in summer, Roots, and guess what? The end of summer is at hand. So it stands to reason that we could be seeing Stride this month.
Nobody wants Stride, right? Our Discord, I guess there's a reason. Our Discord is going crazy over this game. Or some people really, really, really want this game, and I'm excited to see if it's going to be as good as everybody thinks.
Just look at it, dude. I mean, this kind of action, moving rooftop to rooftop, we really don't have much in VR yet that does this. So I got to think, if it's done well, this is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I agree.
Then we have Ginny and Thaco Trial by Spire. Roots, I've been going back and forth with the developers of this game quite a lot over the last month. And while they haven't given me an exact release date, I get the feeling that this game is going to drop anytime now.
Yeah, I think so too. And actually, I'm kind of excited to see it, because we were just talking about the gameplay on this and how unique it is. And I think it's going to be cool.
Yeah, very independent game. They're from the team over at Dark Cat Studios, but high quality here. As you can tell, it seems to look very polished, and the fact that they've got Lloyd Kaufman voicing on it, it really just goes to show the kind of comedy that they're going to be, getting in here and there. This isn't going to be just your basic tower defense game. This one's going to draw a few laughs at it. Out of you in the process.
I think it could be one of the best tower defense games in VR, but I guess time will tell. We're supposed to be able to check it out pretty soon, so that'll be cool.
Yeah, and while we're on the topic, there is a free demo right now to play this on Steam. So if you guys want to check it out, you can get it right now.
Nice.
Then we have a couple of titles that we know are coming in August because we've got the release dates. Hospitality VR, a spooky little demo that I played during the Steam summer event not that long ago. Couldn't do a whole lot in the demo, but the environments look really good, and they really nailed that creepy aesthetic. So I'm really interested to see what we get when we get Hospitality VR. It launches on August 17th.
Wow, it's coming close, quick.
Yeah, so we're not going to have to wait very long, are we?
No. Yeah. That's good.
And then to round it all out, my pick, already for August game of the month, the one that I already know that I'm going to be voting for, so we don't even have to have an episode next month, Roots.
Yeah.
Moose Life from legendary game developer Jeff Minter. This seems a bit closer. Again, not Polybius, but a lot closer to Polybius than the Minotaur Arcade Volume 1 was.
Yeah. So are you going to Colorado it up? Oh, you can. I'm going to Colorado it up. I'm going to play this game and it's going to be fun.
Makes me want to take a week off work, Roots.
Yeah. Yeah. Or a couple.
Yeah, right. Might get lost in this one.
Yeah.
Yes. Super excited for Moose Life. I know that's a very ridiculous sounding sentence, but that doesn't make it any less true. I'm buying this one on day one. I'm not even asking for a review copy. I want to give this man my money.
I'm asking for a couple copies. We'll buy our copies and we'll give away some copies. That would be cool.
That is a good idea. Now, I might actually consider doing that. Plus, we might be able to get a little early and have some footage ready to go.
Yeah.
Obviously, if this guy knows what kind of a fan I am, he'd probably just send me the stupid copies because, I mean, how many weeks go by that I don't mention Polybius in some form?
Yeah. I think we've single-handedly sold like, I don't know, 50 copies of it. So
Probably.
yeah.
I'm probably indirectly responsible for most of the copies of that game that got sold because even before I had a channel, I was lighting up message boards and comment sections trying to spread the word about Polybius.
Yeah, it's good.
Absolutely. Can't wait for this one. August 12th, Moose Life gets released.
Wow. We've only got about a week, right? Next week?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. Nice.
About a week. Next Tuesday.
Sweet.
Anyway, that's going to wrap up our episode, Roots. Another good, epic Monday show in the bag. Monday show 49. I want to thank everybody in the chat for showing up. And for those of you watching that are new to the channel, give it a thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe. And don't forget that bell if you want to keep up with all of our content here on the Virtual Strangers channel. Maybe you would like to join the conversation. Well, it's a really easy thing to do. You can do so by joining our Discord community. You will find an invitation in the description below, right under the link for Cyion VR. Again, everybody, those of you who didn't get the copy of Into the Radius, don't forget to go subscribe to Cyion's channel. He's got a couple more of them he's going to be giving away. Don't forget to do that. And, of course, those of you who have been here from day one, and I got to imagine if you're still watching this show at this hour of the night, you're probably a long-term subscriber. If you'd like to do a little bit more to help support us, much like our friend Zaylin Maru there, you can do so by supporting us on Patreon, whereas for as little as $3 per month, you can get access to our weekly show notes as well as bonus content coming in the form of the always awesome Money Show. Money Show 4, soon to come. Anyway, with that said, friends, we'd like to thank you once again for watching and for Roots. I'm Wes. We'll see you tomorrow, friends. Bye-bye.
Take it easy.